To music.
You guys are all assholes. All of you.
In the halls where the whispers gather, conservative minds debate the future. From tax cuts to border walls, strategies clash like a political rally. Frustration brews in the chambers. As always, meet new challenges. Dissenting voices rise up, seeking unity, but finding divides. We stand strong, we stand tall. In this party, our spirit will not fall. Though the path is rocky and long, we march forward with hearts full of song.
All right. And here we are on Rebel Republic, the best political talk show in all of Massachusetts, in all of Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, Delaware, Rhode Island, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. It doesn't matter. You're either with us or you're against us. And with me, as always, the voice of reason, Frank Cristiano.
You named like 7 states that have maybe 10 conservative people in the state.
Yes.
That's why we're leading.
That's what they're very liberal. So we're trying to change minds.
What's the average hair color in these states?
It's
septum rings. How many septum rings do we have?
What's a septum ring?
Nose ring.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
No, that's okay.
I'm into that. Yeah,
that's a dead giveaway of liberal.
Well, I think the blue hair is more
blue hair. Yeah, I got you. But the blue hair and septum is a home run. It's a home run in the liberal game of politics.
Coach Schumann, who I can't read, but he's trying to become a better person and have success one day at a time, and he has new software coming out that's going to be very popular, right, Dave?
Sure.
That's the typical answer that I love to hear.
Could you play the intro song again, Dave?
I would love to.
Policies debated, votes cast in the shadows.
Or would you rather this one?
That's pick. I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is it. This is it right here. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Oh yeah, right there. Yeah, in the club. In the club.
There it is.
In the club. Get a drink.
Little sax.
Schumann's got a shirt on. He's dancing. He's dancing hard. He's working the room.
This political show here.
He's working the women. You said you needed a song. Dave will produce you a song, right? For the wine bar, Dave will produce it for you. Yes.
That's AI, by the way. This song.
I know it is. We know. Everything you do is AI.
Everything is AI.
You're an AI master. Just like you walking Lincoln down the floor. I would love to say hello to Mr. Sean Van Dever from Afghan Evac and Jules, who reached out to us, Jules Marin. And we are going to have him on the show hopefully soon. Sean is the president of Afghan Evac, which leads the U.S. coalition fulfilling America's promise to our Afghan allies. He's got an incredible story, and we are excited to have a chance to tell it. The other big news of the day was about our favorite people. Pam Bondi was not exactly happy or thrilled. James Comey, Lenita James, our Attorney General.
Letitia James.
Well, I like Lenita better.
Lenita.
Yeah. So they're trying to prosecute James Comey. And New York Attorney General how do you say
It's
it?
Letitia. James.
Letitia. She was speaking at an event in Memphis where she was highlighting the work of the City Safe Task Force. Bondi's comments came after U.S. District Judge Cameron Curry dismissed criminal indictments against Comey and James and ruled that the prosecutor who brought the cases, Lindsay Halligan, had not been lawfully appointed. The judge agreed with Comey's defense, which argued Halligan's appointment as interim U.S. attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia was invalid, meaning the indictments were defective. So this really irritated Miss Bondi. She was furious about this, that Comey and James would get away with this and have their indictments.
Comey is James. It's James Comey.
Yeah, Comey and Letitia James. I'm sorry. I didn't mean
Gotcha.
Comey James. Sorry. I didn't mean to confuse you.
Yeah, I was confused.
Yeah. So this is a pretty big deal. Bondi's pissed off. And she said that they're both charged with serious crimes. And, especially Comey, his actions were really a betrayal of public trust. He was indicted in September of 2025 for making false statements to Congress and obstructing a congressional inquiry. It stemmed from his 2018 testimony about the origins of the FBI Crossfire Hurricane investigation. So, Frank, what are your thoughts on this? The indictment being dismissed, Bondi being furious, and do you believe Comey will be prosecuted?
Yeah, it's just a temporary setback.
Temporary.
It could be within a couple of days. All they need to do is get someone who's certified as an attorney to be able to bring the suit forward, and that will nullify whatever this district judge just rescinded. And we'll be right back where we are, and they're going to have their day in court.
Well, they're trying to get the indictments dismissed, I believe, with prejudice, which would make it not, you wouldn't. Yeah,
you won't get that.
Okay,
you won't get that. All they need to do is recertified with
with a new attorney,
with a certified attorney. That's all it is. It's no big deal. All this is just a bump in the road. Yeah, it's a bump in the road. It's okay. You know what?
It's okay.
Follow the law. Okay. Follow the law. Get an attorney who's qualified, certified, and get the case going. And then let's see, because James Comey was one of the biggest defectors of government and a policy and following the Constitution that there was in office when Trump was president.
He was, yes.
He was a liability to this country. He
needs to be held accountable.
He took Trump's insult initially to heart and did everything that he could in his power to circumvent whatever President Trump tried to accomplish in his 4-year term.
He did. Dave, what are your thoughts on the indictment being dismissed for Mr. Comey and Pam Bondi's outrage?
I think her outrage is correct. I think that as far as what's going to happen in the future, they're not off the hook yet. I think that they'll continue to try and come after them.
As they should.
To judicial process, I'm assuming this was a liberal judge.
Well, it's Virginia, so yeah, most likely, I would have to say.
One time, Virginia was under Thomas Jefferson and George Washington, but obviously times have changed. Yeah. So yes. Let's put it like this. Who knows what happens? I really don't care, to be honest. I really don't.
You don't care if Comey's held accountable or not?
Just try
If
to
you
hold
want
them
it.
accountable. I think the biggest thing that we could do in the conservative movement. And here comes my dog going to sprint down the stairs. I don't know what's going on here. In the conservative movement is literally try to move forward as much
From
as we
everything, not
from a
look back.
lot of these things. I think there's so
holding us
many
back.
issues to address. Now, obviously, we should continue to go and address these things, okay? But there's so many things that we should continue to address that are part of the issue as a whole. We got socialist things going on. I think we need to try and really figure out what we need to hone in on that can move us forward, because there's things like healthcare. There are things like the prices are skyrocketing. It's been set back by Obamacare significantly because that was just a terrible model to end up having everyone pay for everybody else and all that kind of stuff. But as far as like healthcare, rising real estate
Healthcare has
prices,
been huge. Yeah.
rising real estate prices, illegal immigration, the socialist movement, the rise of immigrants that hate America, naming Muslims in general. Okay, not all Muslims, I get it, but as far as ones that hate America, okay, which there seems to be a high amount of in our country, that we seem to be by the bigger problem is like we have to deal with these issues as they were. Like Biden and Obama allowed these things to happen, brought the world's problems into our forefront, the world's problems, and now we have to be willing to deal with a lot of these issues. So, if people dislike America that are living here, then we need to really figure out how we're going to deal with that stuff, because these things are big problems that are going to be continued to plague us in America. And I think we have to take care of healthcare. We have to take care of figuring out where young people are going to be able to live, figuring out what the opportunities are going to be for them going forward, figure out how we take care of illegal immigration, and figure out how we get those people out of the country, and figure out how we take care of people that hate this country that live here, like Derek Garcia, who's here, for example. So, those kind of people are part of it. And we appreciate you listening, even though you hate us. So anyway, I think that's all part of the process. And I think that those are things that are going on that we have to begin to address.
Yeah. Derek Garcia, I love your comments. I really appreciate your thought process. And, we're not scared. We know that some of the commenters, they're not going to break the three of us, I promise. And I do believe Trump cares about healthcare. You said that he doesn't give a what about healthcare. I think he does. I think he understands the importance of getting it right. And, they have to really change the way things are. And they'll do that. And you want us to join the socialist movement with Mamdani. That's the best thing that conservatives can do. That's a great idea. And we'll work on that. I think free milk is great. The transportation, and Frank will get his house for free. The pizzeria, he'll be giving out free slices for lunch every day or once. I think you make some good points.
Well, actually,
there.
what's great about socialism is that
points.
If they fund Frank, if they fund Frank's organization, he should be able to have at least an eighth of a slice available for everybody each day. And if you come in, you get, right, Frank?
The slices will be free. The fountain sodas will just be $20 a pop.
Yep. No, 100%.
I got to make my socialist money back. I've got to make my increase back.
And, Derek believes that Muslims
should go for $40 a pop, I think.
Muslims, you're right. Muslims do scare us. Muslims scare the average American because I remember, as many Americans have forgotten, especially the younger generation of Americans, I remember planes going into the tower. I remember the Pentagon being attacked by a flying plane. I remember a lot of these facets. I remember American hostages
that died in that tower.
Yeah. I remember
floor. The 100 and well, I think the 106th floor was Windows of the World. The 100, I can't remember exactly now, but Kenner Fitzgerald, that was one of my clients when I was in, you know, I mean, now at that point, you know, I was no longer working at the place that I was working at. It was 6 months removed from that time period, but those people were you know, killed.
I remember the hostages in Iran in '79. I remember the Beirut bombing over the 200 military that died in Beirut over the. So yeah, Muslims do scare me. Now I'm not.
He says that, you know, we're race warriors.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yep, I'm racing. I'm a race warrior. I'm racing to get out of the room. Okay, if there are a bunch of Muslims in there, how's that? I'm racing. What I'm trying to say is not everyone. I'm not attacking the religion in a way. I'm attacking the Arabs that weaponize that religion, and what they do is they weaponize it to the point of being sickening. And they weaponize it to the point of trying to eliminate the people that don't agree with them. And those are not called Muslims. Those are called now terrorists. But unfortunately, they fall under the Muslim umbrella of faith. Okay, they're using the Quran
and tolerance.
Tolerant. They're using the Quran in the incorrect manner it was supposed to be used, and you know, interpreted. And so that is why we have fear of Muslims taking over regions, especially this country. You know what? You guys want to shit all over England and Sweden and Germany and Italy. I just came back from Italy. I saw that show too, and Spain, and take all of Europe over. They're compassionate people in Europe. They will understand. It will be okay. But in this country, we are unfortunately, it still is based on a Christian faith, a Christian fundamentalism in a way. Okay, starting with the pledge, starting with the constitutions, everything that has been born in this country, and things evolve over time. Don't get me wrong, I'm with you, but everything that has been founded in this country has been founded off of that. I'm not Christian, so I'm not championing this religion. But what I'm trying to tell you is right now,
you're not Christian.
I'm not Christian. You can see. I'm Catholic.
Are you agnostic? What are you?
I'm Catholic, but I am not a practicing Catholic.
No.
So I don't know what I am. I believe in a God. I believe there's got to be somebody out there. Once they
are Christian.
Well, I know, but I don't. See, I'm not a strict religion. To me, religion and politics definitely need to be separated. And realistically, religion needs to be off the board as far as creating an influence in the style of living, not of morality, but of just an everyday. You know, people chant every time. You know, I sing John 3:16 a whole bunch of times. I get it, man. I'm with you in a way, but after a while, you know, when I got it on Tim Tebow's underneath his eyes, to me, it's too much. But that's just me. So, I'm not disavowing, and that's why a religion is good. No, I'm not bashing religion, but every time I see what do they call that? The head kaifa, or what is it? What's the headdress that they wear?
Oh, I don't know. I know
Palestinians are wearing this. They're wearing a headdress.
It doesn't matter.
Every time I see that, I'm leery of something bad happening. Not a burqa. I can't remember what it is. It's this whole pro-Palestine movement. All these kids were wearing these towels around their necks and all that, and then it's a religious symbol or ethnic symbol, I guess, for the Arabs. But every time I see that, I'm skeptical about what's coming. Most of the time, I don't feel good about it, and that's just over a period of time. We have seen what happens.
So, Dave, there was a comment up above.
Not Sophia, yep, that's it.
There was a comment above about the difference of Iran, I believe in 1978 when the Shah fell. The regime fell. Is that what he
I
said?
think I showed you those pictures one time.
Yeah, but you showed the comments, but you took it down pretty fast. And Gorilla Nuts is making some good points. When the Ayatollah took over the government, and then they took the hostages. Iran has been a shithole ever since.
A great movie about it. There's a great movie about it.
Yeah.
You probably saw it. It stars Ben Affleck, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. With the fall of the Shah.
What was that called? Tehran? That was the name of the movie? Tehran?
Was that the name of it?
I thought it was Tehran. I may be right.
I'll look it up.
He's saying there's 50 different types of head coverings. Yeah. Thank you very much for clarifying that.
But see, that's where they've scared the public. There could be 50 types of head coverings, but an average person watching this, it all symbolizes the same thing.
Yeah, and Gorilla Nuts is continuing to make great points.
Was it
the head covering?
Argo.
Nobody cares about the head coverings. We don't care about the head coverings.
Argo.
Argo. That's the movie. Yes, that's the name of the movie. Yep.
Where he goes in and gets those people out because the Shah is pushed out and Ayatollah is taking over and they're in danger of being killed.
So there was another commenter who mentioned that British Petroleum and the CIA wanted oil, and Gorilla Nuts said, yeah, the Shah wanted to nationalize his oil. He wanted to nationalize his oil? Is that even possible? Can you nationalize oil?
They do it now in Iran.
You nationalize oil?
Every sale of oil to overseas or wherever they're selling it is going to come back to the coffers of the Iranian government.
That's ridiculous. That's not
fair.
That's
how your country makes money. That's why Venezuela at one point was one of the richest countries in the world.
Because of oil production?
And then they turned socialist.
Oh, okay.
And look what happened now.
They all come here.
How's it working out for them over there?
They all come here now.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, the other thing is homeowners could see premiums jump another 16% over the next 2 years due to an uptick in natural disasters and rebuilding costs. The average homeowner premium is expected to rise 8% in 2026, followed by another 8% in 2027. Real estate analytics firm Cotality projected at an annual real estate conference. And I also had talked with my good friend Laban Marsh, who sells real estate, that it is going to be a big problem. That is huge right now. Insurance now accounts for 9% of the typical U.S. homeowner's payment, which is also the highest average on record. But 16%, that's a bit absurd, isn't it, Frank?
It is, but you know what? It's coming. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do to slow that down.
There's nothing you can do.
There isn't. Cost of labor, cost of materials. That's it. And cost of land. There's nothing you can do to slow that down. Unless you put a housing freeze housing price freeze, as Mamdani would have the rent freeze in the city. You'll put a freeze on housing and see how that works out.
Dave, what was the comment before that? He made another good point. Byron Prosta, 1456. Basically, the foreign oil companies were taking all the assets and nothing was really benefiting the Iranian account. Wow. Is that true? They took all the assets from the oil and it wasn't benefiting the Iranian economy because the oil fields and the production was done by foreign companies? That's kind of crazy. They make that much oil and they weren't using the profits to support their own economy?
If you've seen every third, why am I mic going to now?
Oh,
Sorry, in and out here. Thank you. Every third world country or overseas country that does oil production does that. There's no country that shares the profits off of their oil production. Saudi Arabia share the profits, or is there a caste system in Saudi Arabia where bottom line
No, they don't.
they're going to get a dribble here or there of profits, but they're not sharing in the billions of dollars that the Saudis are making. So all those countries, that's independent governments. That's on them to take care of their people. That's not on us. If BP is going in there and they're renting fields and they're producing oil and cutting a percentage back to the government that they're taking it from, that's up to the government to share that money with their people. BP has no control over that, but BP is paying for those services and paying them well, probably, to go in there and do that. And that's why the Shah wanted to actually, nationalize the oil fields and take it themselves, but they didn't have I don't think they had the means to do that. They weren't that advanced as far as technology, and they had the labor, but they didn't have the equipment. Don't know.
Dave, what are your thoughts on that? I mean, the government taking all the profits from the economy, from the oil, and not using it to better and assist the economy. That kind of blows my mind a little bit. I understand it's the Middle East and you can do whatever you want there other than females showing their skin. But isn't that surprising somewhat?
Or driving or reading.
They can't drive or read? They're illiterate?
They can't drive.
Oh, well, neither can I. So that's good. Dave, any thoughts on that one?
I'm not sure. I don't know enough about the intricate details of it. So, to be honest, listen, the bottom line is, I just look at it as anytime radical Muslims have been in power, there's a lot of problems.
Huge problem.
And it ain't just Israel that has the problems. We have major problems. Europe has major problems from it.
Big time.
And every place in the world that has radical Islam as part of in their society has an issue. Okay. So like that part, the part that's crazy in America with this stuff, the part that's crazy in America is really that there's such a divide among
Trump loves the Muslims. Yeah, I know Trump loves Muslims. Yeah, there is a divide. Go ahead.
There's a divide between, and I just look at what went on in Dearborn, where on one side is
huge.
the marching, and one side you have Islamic people marching basically with other flags of other countries against America, and then you people marching on behalf of America. And my only conclusion is I watched the interviews, and the Islamic people say it straight up when they're interviewed. They were born in America, a lot of them. They live here, but if a war was to break out between an Islamic country and America, they will either fight outside of the Islamic country or go to jail versus fighting against an Islamic country.
Of course they would. Of course they would.
That tells you everything you need to know.
Yeah.
When religion dominates the conversation, it's not worth your time. It's not. No. Religion can be a part of the conversation. It can't forcefully dominate the conversation. And that's what happens when they start talking about what they feel the eventual outcome will be. The eventual outcome will be an entire world of Muslim faith. That's their
goal.
They have two books. They have two books. The one book is a peaceful book. The second book tells anybody that doesn't follow the Muslim faith, kill them. Any Muslims that don't, any Muslims that don't follow the book, kill them too. That's it.
Yeah. No, that's it. That's it.
What side of the fence you are on that, and there's enough radical Islamic people in the United States. I'm not just talking about outside of the United States. In the United States, that you have to address it head on. They already are, I'm sure. But you
Well,
have to,
I agree with you, Dave, but the biggest thing to me is Muslims are the problem, one way or another.
I know,
They either are,
I think you got to separate out.
they're going to be the problem, or they are the problem.
I think you have to. I don't think that's fair.
It is fair.
No,
I think you have to separate out. What makes it difficult is that you have to separate out people that are truly believe that
the fundamentalists.
Islam
I know.
is the only way, and
Right.
if you are not Islamic, then you are the enemy. Versus people, they might be Islamic, but they don't buy into the
What is it?
the radical principles of it. So it's it's very difficult. Okay, that's why Europe has been overrun. It's very, very difficult to navigate that.
That's my point. Exactly. And what is an American to you guys? That is the stupidest question I've ever heard. American is someone who gets up every day and says the Pledge of Allegiance. Americans get up every day and they go to work from 9 to 5. They don't get checks in the mail. They don't get welfare. They don't get food stamps. They provide for themselves. They're individuals. They're creative thinkers. They're not indoctrinated. They're not ignorant. They're smart and they know what's going on. They read newspapers. They educate themselves.
You just limited half of the American public.
Yeah, that's what an American is.
An American is, number one, whoever is a citizen. You have rights.
So people on food stamps are not American? No, people on food stamps take advantage of the system. Very few.
Again, you're
very few.
You're piling it in just like you said, all Muslims.
I would get rid of all Muslims.
You're piling. No, that's a bullshit statement.
It is not.
That's a bullshit
get rid
statement.
of all
Muslims.
Muslims.
That's a bullshit statement.
Because Dave just said you can't filter them out.
Well, the guy that invents the metal detector that you wand in front of a Muslim to see if they're telling you the truth or not, he's going to make billions. But what I'm trying to tell you, I break bread with Muslims. I hang in the Bosnian community. Tons of Muslims, and they're great people. They're hard workers. They're proud of their ethnicity, and they're also proud of their religion, and they're proud to call me a friend. I hope we come in. I see them all the time. I work together with them.
Yeah.
So you can't lump everything into that. The problem is that religion has branches, and the branches have broken off, and they're radical branches, and they're branches that are evil thinking branches, are dangerous branches, and they want to implement their religion and their laws by force. And those,
you know what else is another issue? Here's another issue, that the over empathetic and the lumping of all ethnic groups together by leftists. Okay. Yep. Meaning, if you are someone that is a female or has a different ethnicity or race, the left lumps everybody together and says they're all disenfranchised, they're all at a disadvantage. That is not true. And I'll use a good example. A good example of that is that one of the most successful groups in America, ethnicity-wise, is Asian Americans, both of Indian descent and of Asian descent. I don't know the way to say it. I don't know how you would say it. Japanese, Korean.
It's Asian. You're correct.
Asian, right? So the point is that when it gets all lumped together like that, you start to just say everybody's in the same situation and everybody's in the same thing, and everybody, America's against anybody of, and that's not true. I mean, so it's that part that drives me crazy. The part that we have to address is who is dangerous to America and who
Exactly.
isn't.
Exactly.
And figuring out who that is, and who figures out who it is, and they're coming after you, Steve.
Well, am I allowed to speak? Derek Garcia, I love your comments. I love all of them. And you're absolutely right. An American is someone who is born here and loves this country. And yeah, I said food stamps because the majority of people on food stamps take advantage of food stamps.
I don't
They
think
take
that's
advantage
the case
of
either.
welfare.
I think the majority of people on food stamps.
A study was done. People trade food stamps for drugs. People trade food stamps for cigarettes. People have kids just to get more welfare and to get more food stamps. People do it so they can stay home and do nothing. Yes. Joe Rogan said, yeah, the red was funny and it's a stupid question, but you answered it stupidly. Yes, Derek, because I am a very stupid person, so I answered it stupidly. I apologize for that. I apologize I did not answer it to your satisfaction. The economic
so I'm
system
going to read this. I'm going to read this. I don't know if it's true or not. Recipient fraud. The long-standing data of the U.S. Department of Agriculture and other sources indicate that intentional fraud by participants is a small percentage, less than 1% of the households.
Yeah, because they get away with it.
Why do you make up lies?
It's not a lie. People get away with it.
The overall improper payment rate for SNAP in the fiscal year of 2023 was 11.7%. which includes overpayments of 10% and underpayments of 1.64. Obviously, we would want that to be a lot lower, but it's definitely not the majority of people. When you make a statement like that, you make us look stupid.
No, I did factual research on it, and I know that the people that get away with it is upwards of 60% of people who cover themselves up, who get away with it, who have other people take children. Where did I get this fact? All over the place. It's all over the place.
The McDonald's National Institute of Research.
60% get away with food stamps, SNAP, welfare.
No, that's
garbage. They specifically have kids.
No, you know where Steve came up with this? Steve Cully's intentionally trying to make radical statements on Rebel Republic.
Because that's what I do. I always make radical statements on Rebel Republic.
No, you don't.
That's what is that what I'm known for? Do I make radical statements on Rebel Republic? No, I don't. I know this for a fact because I educate myself and I listen to other podcasters and I've read other articles about it that over 60% get away with it and they take advantage. And they take advantage of it. It's fine if you don't believe me. It's fine. I can.
I like when you make stuff up.
Okay, you want me to say I made it up? I made it up. I made it all up. It's all a lie. I just came up with it in my head. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just came up with it in my head.
Can we go back to the gay bathhouses that Steve used to go to in Worcester?
No, the glory holes. The glory holes.
Oh God.
Yeah, Joe, get rid of the fraud. Yes, Derek, I agree. Get rid of the fraud.
No one says we shouldn't. Why do you keep playing me up and down? I don't understand why you keep going that. Just leave it right there. Leave it right there. Leave it right there. Leave it right there. Don't touch it.
When you stop talking.
No. Leave it right there. That's it. Leave it right there.
Then I can't be heard.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Who can't hear you?
Okay.
Why? You can't turn your mic up? Turn your mic up.
Now I turned it up.
Why are we on the same thing?
Now I turned it up.
Yeah, what's that? Now you turn me off.
No.
Horrible.
Now you can talk.
I can't deal with this. It's insane.
Do you remember the 21st night of September?
I can't talk about music.
You can talk with
It's a love melody. All I'm trying to say is your fraud numbers are too high, It's not the case. We want to sure everyone wants to cut fraud. You want that out of there.
7%'s too high, but yes.
Yeah, but they want, but people need these programs. I'm not saying every person needs these programs. I'm saying this. Listen, here's the fraud that's going on right now. The Trump administration is going through in Minneapolis. The Somalis. They've been taking advantage of some sort of assistance or help getting into the country and then getting assistance by claiming they're autistic. Right. So now the Trump administration is sending massive amounts of resources there to start investigating the Somali population to see who's here legally and who's not, and if not, why. So yeah, there's fraud going on, man. There's definitely stuff going on around the country. The problem is it's less than what people think. And many people need that assistance. There are people that are working, they're going to school, they're trying to make ends meet where they are. They can't, they're at a level where it's a poverty line level. They need that assistance. They get a few $100 a week in assistance. That's okay. I have no problem with that. They shouldn't live on it for the rest of their lives. And I'm sure most of them don't. But the thing is we have to be tolerant in a way. We have to assist where we can, because there's a lot of money that's going in different areas that isn't assisting anyone. It's going into pockets of politicians. I'll tell you that right now. So I think America will stay on the right track. I think you'll see, healthcare, that's a different animal. And that's a thing that people have to realize. It's not just a simple solution of pay this, take away this, keep this, and keep funding. It's got to be rearranged in a way where eventually it'll be social health, but it's got to be in a better implemented system. That's what I think. That's what I think it should be.
He said the biggest fraud is sending money to the Ukraine.
Yeah, listen, we already talked about that last week, where there was a huge article talking about how the top 4 or 5 politicians in that country have been fraudulently funneling hundreds of millions of dollars into their coffers.
Were prosecuted too, right?
Well, I don't know if they were prosecuted yet, but they've been brought up on charges, and they really have close ties with Zelensky. So that's whenever they listen, all these Doge investigations that they did and found out where this money's going overseas to all these different countries for all these programs that are crap. Those are all third-party activities, man. Those are all NGOs. They're non-governmental organizations that are taking that money and then distributing it. It's like laundering money. They're sending it to where it can't be traced, and everybody's getting a cut. And they're getting a cut out of the U.S. government.
It's like sending it to the Caymans.
And that's it, basically. So if you want to investigate people and bring up on charges, you got to find out who put these programs together and approved them. Because when you're talking about, LGBTQ policies for a foreign country, what the hell does that have to do with us?
Yeah. And Derek Garcia pointed that out, that he is to the left, but he does not agree with transgenders as well. Dave, the only reason I said that, Muslims, you said it yourself, it's very difficult to weed out the good ones from the bad ones, the radical ones, correct? Oh, and yeah. So you just put yourself line. So yeah, you agreed to that. It's difficult to weed out the radical ones from the good ones, correct?
I think it's difficult because when I watched the Dearborn thing, when they were marching, one of the guys they interviewed was an American citizen wearing a Detroit Lions shirt or jacket, talking about how he would not fight for America if we fought an Islamic country because the Quran does not condone it. So that's probably a guy that you would say on a regular day is probably a normal guy born in America. Probably he's working right alongside you. But deep down, he's got radical thoughts. He says that the religion does not allow me to take up arms against another Muslim, right? So that's my example of why it's difficult. Okay? A young 25-year-old guy works next to you, talks to you every day, seems normal. You know what I mean? Wearing a Detroit Lions shirt, obviously a Detroit Lions fan, born in America, went to high school in America. You know what I mean? Speaks normal.
They're letting religion overtake their national interest. They're letting religion. That's why this country is the greatest country, because when we had other civil unrest, we had other battles, other wars. I mean, you'd go to war, you would be next to a Jew, you'd be next to an Arab, you would be next to a Christian, and they would all have the same uniform on. They're all fighting for the same cause. Whereas the radicalized Muslims, they're all fighting for the same thought and religion, and that's where the religion overtakes. Or takes precedence over anything else they believe, which is wrong. It's totally wrong.
Right. But what I'm saying, Dave, is it's difficult to weed them out, to figure out who is radical, who is not.
I agree. That was my example. This guy, it probably is not a quote unquote radical. I can show you the video too. I probably find it.
What would you say the increase in the Muslim population has been in the United States? If you just off the top of your head had to guess.
It's probably like 4 million
from 2010 until now.
Number. What?
That's a high number, right?
No, it's not a high number. 4 or 5
from
million.
From 2010 to now, you don't think it's a high number?
But it could be a tenfold.
It could be very quickly tenfold in a generation.
Right. Yeah. So you have that. Now, if Americans wanted to go live in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Lebanon, Syria, would they allow the same number of Americans, regardless of religion, to come live in the Middle Eastern countries?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. That's my point.
Or would they allow the same number of Americans, regardless of religion, to come live in the Middle Eastern countries? Check it out.
Yeah. So that is kind of my point, is it wouldn't be allowed in the Islamic countries. So I believe if this is going to be a danger long-term to Americans, to our country, then get rid of them all. Deport them all.
Well,
why take the chance?
It's not that simple.
We're doing it already with illegals.
We're not deporting everybody. I mean,
we're deporting a good amount. I mean, we deported the most in 6 months than we had in the whole Biden administration.
What are you going to ask them to present their religion card to you?
No, I mean, you can tell. You can tell.
You can tell?
Yeah, they just said you can tell. They march. I go to mosques. I go to the mosque.
Most are peaceful. Most are not like that. The radical section is the one that has to be. And this is where you
got to find out the imams that are preaching this. Yeah. I think that is true. Preaching radicalism. You gotta find out who they are. I think you got to start really. Listen, if you have imams that are anti-American, okay, which I'm sure there are some. If there are those, I'm sure there's quite a bit. You got to start there, because it's just like you got to start to change the school system if you want to get rid of this like crazy trans movement and girls playing boys playing girls sports. And what we're teaching the kids and saying this group is good and this group is this group's disenfranchised just because they were born this way. That starts in a school system. So the same thing. So if you got it. Listen, I hate demonizing Christianity at all, because it's very rare that any of these things happen on the Christianity side.
And you're born again.
But my point is this. The truth is, what they did to David Koresh's group, okay, they would never dare do that to the Muslim group in America.
Not in a million years.
Go in there and mow down all those people?
Not in a million years. Or play music and turn the power off.
Listen, was he a pedophile? Yes. Was he, was he marrying 16-year-old girls and getting them pregnant? Yes. He the government mowed all those people down. All of them.
They breached. A lot of Sharia law Muslims do that as well, Dave. A lot of them are pedophiles, and a lot of them marry under 16 years of
They
age.
do.
No,
They do.
I know. I'm saying that if the American government went in and went after those people, there would be an
Correct. It'd be a
outrage.
different
Oh,
situation.
It'd be insane.
Yeah,
There was
it'd
no
be a different
outrage
situation.
when they went and took out Christians and David Koresh
No.
and who was doing some things wrong. But did all those people deserve to die? No.
No. It was
they
a
did
7. It was a longer standoff than I
I
think.
know.
They
I know.
would
My
do.
point
Yes.
is this. If we went into Dearborn, Michigan, if Trump said,
Yes.
I'm going to go into Dearborn, Michigan, I'm going to take out these radical, it would be like you would have thought it was what's the guy who George Floyd
George
all
Floyd.
over again.
Yes. Right.
You know?
Right.
I mean,
No, I agree. But that's my point. So your boy Mamdani, this was announced, which is interesting. Nassau County Executive Bruce Blakeman, a Republican whose county neighbors, New York City, said that he is directing authorities to install cameras and security technology along the border with the city in light of the election of Mayor-elect Mamdani. He told Fox Digital that a second term in the majority blue county said he will be taking extra precautions to preserve law and order in Nassau County in light of the socialist mayor-elect Mamdani. We're doing everything necessary to make sure Nassau County is safe. We are installing technology along the border of New York City that will read license plates and that will have facial recognition with video cameras. And the city is also, and the county, hiring new police officers into its existing force. And 100 police cadets are currently enrolled in the Nassau County Police Academy. This is all because of Mamdani coming in, the fear of the Muslims coming in and wanting to provide extra security. So again, I implore you, am I that far wrong? I mean, there seems to be.
I don't think it's a fear of Muslims coming in.
Well, it's a fear of the socialism, obviously, that Mamdani's going to bring, and that Muslims are going to come because of him.
I don't know if Muslims are. I don't know if the fear is not in the Muslim community. The fear is that you're going to have more lawlessness because the force will be smaller.
He's defunding the police.
Defunding. They're going to send in counselors. They're going to, they'll provide safe shoot up areas like Seattle does for drug addicts. So you just Philadelphia too. So they're going to bring in and expand the element that a lot of communities don't want to see, not beneficial to their community. But you have to understand there's such an underlying face of trees and so Kathy Hochul, let's go back here. She said that no, can't fund it. The free transit buses, we'll never vote for that for those buses to be free. And then no, on the billionaires or over the million, we're not going to raise the taxes on them. We can't do that because they'll flee the city. Then secretly, Mamdani just the other day was on a podcast and he said, no, I spoke to Kathy Hochul just days after she said no, and she agreed that she's going to raise the taxes on those billionaires in the city. So there's an underlying subversion of politics right now where they're telling you to your face, we are not doing this. And then behind your back, they're signing the papers to get it done. And then they'll distract you with something else. And that's what's happening now in big city politics. It's the same thing in Chicago. It's the same thing in Minneapolis. You're seeing cover-ups and coercion, by Democratic leadership to be able to get their policies through.
No, I agree with that. Dave, what are your thoughts on the same situation right there? And Letitia James is also being prosecuted for fraud in Virginia. and her charges were dropped. So both of them are getting away with it for now, and I hope that they are reindicted and prosecuted soon. But it's still going to take time, and they're roaming free and not concerned.
We've lost him.
No, he muted. I think he muted himself.
Oh, did he?
Oh, sorry.
There you
There you
go.
go.
What would you like to know about Letitia James or about this other case?
Both. You can start with whichever you'd like.
I think the Comey case and Letitia James case being dropped. These things that, like I said, have these people done criminal things? Should it be held accountable for them? Absolutely. How do we get this to happen without it going all the way up the ladder is really the problem with a lot of these things, especially in these liberal states. So I don't know how we do that. I don't know how we do that effectively. Because that's why they do the things they do, because they know it's going to be very difficult to come after them. Very, very, very difficult. So I don't really have an answer for that. I just don't know how you can solve that per se, because basically
You really can't.
once the people vote in a certain direction, you would want to say justice is blind, but it's not. Justice is bought in a lot of cases.
Yeah.
So, and it may not be I'm saying bought. This may not be a direct money transfer, but like just from how you vote, it's going to be, people are going to protect their own. That's part of, it's like, how do you move things forward? Like, actually, what Trump has done as far as his agenda and stuff is pretty amazing. And that's why, because it is hard to move things, to move the needle in one direction and the other nowadays, because people would rather just tread, on their side of what their political side is, and not necessarily on the side of right or wrong. I don't know. These liberal states are really irritating, and I don't know. By the way, I think liberalism is spreading, not retracting.
Oh, it is.
Because every time a Mandami goes in to New York, yes, there is a good amount of conservatives that leave. Okay,
Leaving the state.
but there's also a lot of liberals that leave too, who don't say that they're leaving the state because they, don't want a free this, free that. But then they go and they move to a more conservative area and they vote left, because it's going on all over the country. California, okay, when they moved to Texas, they all moved to Austin, Texas, or the surrounding areas. And all of a sudden, a very conservative area becomes radically liberal in the state of Texas.
Are you saying Democrats are like Muslims?
No, but I mean that's very
spread.
It's very
right.
That's very true.
They assimilate, they take over, and then they move to the next spot.
Yes, it's a disease. It's a
that's very true. But that's what's scary about it, is that it's going to continue to spread. And what is the answer for knocking it out? And you're saying that Muslims are going to continue to go to certain areas, and the religion is going to spread. They're going to have more children, and eventually the population of the United States is going to grow to be large for Islam. It's going to take over.
No, Dave was talking about Democrats moving to southern states and then changing Democrats. And I just assimilated I just assimilated to
but that's true. But that's 100% true.
It's an assimilation. It's an assimilation. It's a possibility. You don't know right now.
I think that I think you're gonna have. I think the
Again.
point of children going and but like growing in population, I think that does shift things. But I think, look, I don't know how you solve some of this stuff. So, like, basically, because the voter has the ability to vote in America. Okay, if they're in America legally, I'm not talking about the people that are illegal, but if they're in America legally and they populate and take over America.
You're breathing heavy into your microphone.
Steve, this is Steve.
Right.
Are you okay?
It's like talking in a wind tunnel.
You got to hit some cardio. Yeah, well, you probably are hitting some cardio because you are getting slim. All right. Well, anyway. Go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just going to say that we had a couple comments last week when we were talking about the Affordable Care Act. People were saying that it was signed in by Republicans. Is that accurate?
It's incorrect.
That is incorrect. That we approved it and we put it in there.
No, the Democrats had the House and the Senate.
Okay.
When the ACA went through.
And when you were talking about, the deficit, he's saying that you don't pay off the deficit, you pay off the debt. You lower the deficit by balancing the budget. Is that accurate?
Balancing the budget would keep the deficit at where it is, and then you would still be paying the interest, so it will still increase time over time. You're trying to, but the problem is we're just paying down on the interest, and we're not touching the principal. And the principal is there, and the principal keeps getting added with an unbalanced budget. Now, if they just balance the budget, the principal will be the same, but you still got to pay the interest on that as well.
Okay.
So it doesn't totally. Now, it would slow down the process if you can balance the budget, but it wouldn't eliminate the problem.
Right.
Balancing the budget doesn't mean you're reducing the budget; it just means you're keeping it at level.
Okay. And Dave, just with the extension of everything, do you believe that, with the government shutdown, everything that happened, that the extension, we will come to a conclusion and have a plan going forward within the next 60 days? That's been asked several times.
The government shutdown?
If we're going to actually put together a plan that Democrats and Republicans agree on, obviously with healthcare being a major issue, some of the other things that are going on, will concessions be made to get this done?
They will at some point.
They have to, correct? But do you think it'll happen within the next 60 days?
Let me look at my crystal ball.
Well, that's what they want.
Yes.
We're experts.
It'll be done before the end of the new year.
You believe that? Okay.
Did you just shake your 8-ball? Remember the 8-ball? And then all of a sudden the answer would pop up there? That's great.
Frank, do you believe that?
I believe it'll be done before the deadline, because it will not serve either party's interest to keep it going into another shutdown, because it will look more foolish than it did this one. So I think they will get something accomplished. I think the Republicans will concede on some facets of what Democrats are asking for on the ACA. Maybe they will rework or reword the grants that are going towards towards the medical coverage. I don't think they're going to see cash going directly into people's accounts to be able to allow them to pay for their own medical coverage, because I think the average person doesn't have the IQ to do that and to actually take the time, go online, shop it around, look at everything, and then decide what part of their budgeted money they have saved in here is going to go to what, and then worry about their deductions, their premiums, all other stuff. So I still think it's got to be something where it's controlled by someone else, because the average American can't do it.
Right.
The average American doesn't have $1,000 in their savings account.
No, they don't.
So how are you going to ask them to all of a sudden manage their health savings account, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I just think that there's a lot of things that need to be hashed out. I would think sane minds could get stuff done, but in looking
come together.
But looking who our representatives are, there's no sane people there. There's not. There's
no. Derek Garcia, you are absolutely right. And I am not the voice of reason. As you have noticed, I am the voice of ignorance. Frank is the voice of reason. I am the voice of stupidity. So you got that correct. And I am very happy that you are a Democratic Muslim. And we do need a good liberal voice on here, and we appreciate you being one and you putting me in my place and telling me how wrong I am. I need that. I need more of that in my life. So if I give you my number, you could text me throughout the day and tell me when I'm wrong, because I'm wrong so many times and I just don't get that correction. And you correct me on here, and it makes a huge, huge difference.
This is how Dave, this is how Steve started out in Tinder. If you give me your number, I will hook up with you and we will discuss democratic policies and late night sword fighting.
No, Derek Garcia, I give you all the credit in the world. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. You gave some great points. You can laugh your ass off. I am not the voice of reason.
Do the Starbucks, if he doesn't suck on any straws, the Starbucks.
Yeah, the schmutzel, yeah. I am not the voice of reason. Frank is. I am the voice of stupidity and ignorance, just so you know. Who wants to deport all the Muslims. There you go. So, Dave, thank you. And this has been a banner episode. I got you guys. Thank you, Derek. We appreciate it. We need a good liberal voice, and we appreciate your contribution to the show and giving us some great feedback and good topics to discuss. For the voice of reason himself, Frank Cristiano, and Coach Schumann, who is working on his software and hustling and making money and making me do Husky hoops all by myself tomorrow. I appreciate it.
I am not making you do it by yourself.
You're not going to be on. You said you have a 10 a.m.
Yeah, but you're choosing to do it when I can't be on.
Well, you can't do it anytime. You apparently arrange your schedule Wednesdays where you're always doing a prospect podcast at 10 a.m. So
that's how the Prospect Podcast has always been.
No, it's not. Last year we did Husky Hoops every Wednesday at 10 a.m.
We did? No, it not. We went at 11.
No, we did it at 10. We did it at 10. Yes. Well, that's why the
podcast has become a lot of people.
I know your Prospect Podcast is
everyone wants to be on the show. I don't know.
Everyone wants to be on the show. I know. It's the major hit. You can't give up the Prospect Podcast for a day. It's too big. Everyone's got to be on it. So just remember, Dave, this is Rebel Republic.
Imagine we got guests for this show.
We have a great guest coming on this show. That reached out to me actually. So
you're
how about that? Yeah. Just remember,
are you going to ring the bell next year for football?
Why do you want me to ring the bell? I don't want to ring the bell.
Carl Bond rang the bell last week.
I know, he was the captain. He was honorary captain. Yeah.
What did he ring what was it for?
Just for being him, for having his record broken, I think. Or one of
he had the record for receiving?
The touchdown record, I believe he had. Yeah, touchdowns in the year. Yeah. So, Rebel Republic, you're either with us or you're against us, and Dave is against me. So, just remember, when life gives you lemons,
I'm your
don't
biggest
make lemonade.
Advocate.
Take 2 oranges, throw them right back at life.